Hello all, let's get started on puzzle number 51. So here we have a rook and a bishop. So two pieces. And the opponent have two rook. So obviously the opponent have more powerful pieces than ours. He have 4 pawns and we have 4 pawns. But his pawn is almost queening, so I'm treating this like a bishop or half a queen. Now we have threats of our own. We have this pawn, which is kind of pass pawn, but there's a king and a rook blockading it. So what are our threats? We can also do a check here to divert the king. But if we do that, the king could actually come over here and blockade this pawn from queening. Alternatively, the king can also take our bishop, and if we try to push our pawn later, the opponent can use the rook to blockade it, or simply queen. So let's calculate. So let's say I push this pawn, check, blockade, and now I'm stuck. If I go here, he'll queen, and two rook and a queen, first a bishop and a rook is not fast enough. So even if we take the queen, the opponent's gonna take this, and we just have nothing. So it's not fast enough. We have to keep the threats going somehow. Now, can the opponent do anything to us? He can't check us here because our pawn's protecting our king. And this rook can also do some damage, like the queen and the rook coming here, it's gonna push our king. So we have about 1 tempo, to survive. So let's see, what else can we do here? We can look at this rook, which is on a dark square. So in order to attack it, our bishop had to come here. But he can simply just dodge us. And then we push, check, he go here. And we still have nothing, and if our rook go anywhere, for example here, he's queening again. Not fast enough. Now, there are some tactics where, if the rook is here, then our bishop can attack both this rook and that rook. But that's not likely to be possible because, our rook is guarding us, so there's no tactic to push this rook around. Even if the rook go here, which is not likely because our rook is going to take it, there's just no way to push this rook around. So the puzzle probably involve queening. Alright, there's just too much threat on our king. So let's calculate. Push, king go. If the king go here, we go here. That become a queen, or potential rook if you want. The rook take, we take, that's checkmate. So there's a threat here if the king doesn't blockade. If the pawn go here, therefore this is the only forced move. Now we have to do a check to the king. And so the only other check that I can see if the king is on this square is on this open E file, which is coming here. Okay? So my pawn go here, king go here, rook go here. If the rook go here, I'm just gonna take it with checkmate. So if pawn here, king here, we go here and promote to a queen, this is still checkmate. Because rook go here, I take the rook, turn it into queen, checkmate. I go here, he go here, I go here, and let's say he do something like this to throw me off. I take. Now he's gonna do this in queen with check. Now I'm forced to take this now. If I don't take this, then my king have to move. But if my king move, I lose my rook, and then I can't queen this pawn anymore. Right? Or if I take the queen, his rook takes my rook, and this king is still blockading on this square. So we have to adjust this threat. I go here, he go here, I go here. He take. So I have to avoid the white square due to the queening square with check. So obviously I can't go here. I can't go here because the rook is the opponent's rook is blocking my path. Can't go here, as we said, it's gonna be check, and the opponent have counter attack. Can't go here because the opponent's rook blocking us with the attack. So we can only go here, here, or here. So let's do process of elimination. So let's start with the d4 square. So if we move our king to d4, even if the opponent queen, we're just gonna strip in onto e1 square with check, right? So the opponent is not gonna queen. What the opponent likely to do is go here with a check. And we can't go to the c file because of the opponent's rook at the back. So we had to move forward. Let's say forward here. Then the opponent's gonna do check. And now we're stuck. And the king is moved to the f file. And there's nothing to support the pawn from pushing because the king is blocking the rook. Now, let's look at the other square. This square. So let's say I push, he go here, I go here. He sacked the rook. I go here. Then his rook is gonna go here. Right? And if I go back, he can sacrifice his rook. And if I take, he's gonna queen with check. And the same problem exists. So we can't go this square. There's also a funny business where this will come in and attack us as well. So let's say he go here. The rook come here. We move up. The opponent's rook come here. We hide onto the A file. Let's say here. Check. Opponent go here. He can just move back and forth to pull a draw if he wants to, right? So that's not a good move. So that leaves this square. And let's calculate this to make sure we didn't overlook anything. Pawn go here, king go here. Rook go here. The opponent's rook sack. I go here. The opponent rook now go here with check. So we have the same problem. We are on this B and A file. And this rook is this pawn is now a weakness because two rook is targeting it. So is it okay to go to the C file, C6, and get checked? So let's say I take the rook. Now he queen, I guess. Then I take, and now the rook is not protecting the queen. What else is he gonna do to me? And now I'm up a bishop for a rook and a pawn. That looked nice. Let's look at this again, just in case. He. Open file. Threaten the king. He sack. Go he. Can the opponent go here? No, the opponent probably gonna go here. Can't move up because this rook is targeting from the back. Cannot go here again because we need this file open to checkmate the king. So this seems like the better square. Still, let's calculate this square again. So pawn here, go here, go here. Sack the rook. Go here. Yeah, seems like this square is probably the best. I'm not seeing any other threats. Go here, go here. Yeah, I mean, even if we trap the king, this pawn is just too powerful. We have to deal with this pawn. Okay, let's try it. Check. As we planned here. As we planned, this rook coming here. We say we want to escape here, so stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Now we can take this, as we say. Going here is a bad idea, because back and forth, right? Let's try again. So, and if we say, let's say we go here, this rook can also come in here, and this is just bad news. So this does make logical sense. As we said, the queen is now coming in here. If we move out, we can't move our king here, we can't move our king here. We cannot move our king here. So if we move here, he's gonna take the rook, right? If we move here, he's also gonna take the rook. And if we move here, he's gonna do checks and all hell break loose. Right, and then there's like layer mate and all those sort of patterns. So just take the queen, make life easy. Yeah. And that's puzzle number 51.